we have these crossroads. And you know, either way you choose, your life is going to be different.
The universe doesn't exist, but God thinks it does.
We have to stop consuming our culture. We have to create culture.
Stupidity has a definite evolutionary function. I am all for abolishing stupidity, but before it goes, we should pay tribute to it.
Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Bazaar. We're your hosts, I'm Sequoia Kennedy.
And I'm Willow Truman.
Willow, growing up, did you ever have the magical school kid fantasy? Like the Harry Potter shit? Like,
oh, yeah.
Like where, like, you know, due to your tremendous and very special abilities that set you apart from all the shitheads that made fun of you, you'd be whisked away and inducted into a group of like-minded and similarly gifted people.
Oh, yeah. Secretly special? Duh.
Yeah. Yeah, where you'd have a purpose surrounded by people who get you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I certainly did.
Oh, yeah. Embarrassingly.
I mean, I honestly still do.
God, you know, what was your Harry Potter house? Like, what did you get sorted into?
Ravenclaw.
Yeah, I love how it's like you got the brave ones, the evil ones, the smart ones, and the other ones. And I'm the other one.
You're Hufflepuff?
I'm a Hufflepuff.
I mean, they're the fun ones.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I got Slytherin too.
Yeah.
You know.
The other one.
It could be a bit evil. It's fine. I mean, you know, I honestly still do have that fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
Boys, I know you're listening. I'm still waiting. I can be in Langley in 6 hours. That's a little joke about how I'm waiting for the CIA to recruit me.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I already blew my chance. I know when it was. I should have accepted that sailing invitation. You know.
God.
And I also know I'm far too stupid to get recruited the other way.
But don't we all have a little bit of chosen person syndrome?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't, you're not living your life to the fullest.
It's within all of us.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm honestly definitely not anything special. I'm not too stupid to get recruited the ways they do. Maybe. The way we're going to be talking about today, if that is what it is, it's not.
This is our application.
We don't want to apply to anywhere this is going.
No.
But that's one of many theories surrounding the Cicada 3301 mystery, a hyper-complex series of puzzles placed on the internet between 2012 and 2014, which were explicitly stated to be recruiting tools for a shadowy organization of some kind. Right? The Cicada puzzles, required extremely high-level cryptography and hacking skills and were framed around artistic and literary works, including those of William Blake, William Gibson, and prominently Aleister Crowley. And it's easy to see Cicada 3301 as another in a long string of ARGs, that is, alternate reality games or transmedia fiction, which is fiction that cuts across different mediums.
Yep.
Creating an illusion of reality. The facts around Cicada 3301 are weird and suggest that it was perhaps exactly what it proclaimed to be, a recruiting tool for intelligent individuals. I also found some stuff that made me want to rewrite this entire script right at the end.
Oh,
but
don't you hate when that happens?
Fucking hate it. But we'll come to that at the end. Now, whether the organization behind Cicada 3301 was an intelligence agency, either belonging to a specific nation or private, a hacking collective, a secret society, or a group of fucking wizards up to their old goddamn tricks again, is still, as of yet, unknown. And, in fact, the final puzzle, titled Liber Primus, is still, as of June 2023, unsolved. Mostly unsolved. So, while we certainly won't have any answers as to who or what is behind this, we're going to take a look at it because it does hit on a lot of my favorite things.
I know who's behind it.
Who? Just showed me a picture of Grimace of the McDonald's lore.
Go on.
Question for the audience. Does Grimace fuck?
Yes or no? Please weigh in.
Also, I don't know shit about cryptography or computers or numbers, really. Basically anything with numbers and logic, I'm fucked on.
Yeah.
Your boy works through intuition, primarily.
Right. That's how you solve the last puzzle.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I let the calculations happen in the background, so we won't be analyzing the puzzles and their puzzliness because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And also, reading long strings of numbers isn't very fun anyway. So without further ado, let's pull a tarot card, which we will talk about what it means at the end of the episode, and then we will delve into Cicada 3301. Queen of Swords.
Cool.
Okay.
Interesting. I know you're not a fan of court cards.
Yeah, they're tough. They're tough. Especially when there's no, like, single individual to think about.
Yeah.
But it's sort of... the Queen of Swords is an analyzer. She's
very intuitive.
Yeah, and she's also very judgy.
Mm-hmm.
She's she's the queen that you gotta, like, go plead your case to and hope she doesn't take your fucking head.
Yep.
You know, that's kind of who she is. Good gatekeeper.
You better not lie to her because she'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take your fucking head.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Well, yeah, we will talk about that at the end of the episode. It's funny that, like, because the messages at the end of their shit is like, we have never lied to you. We never will. Please do not lie to us. Quick, call it.
Call it?
Call it.
Call what?
Card.
The Wheel of Fortune.
Loser. 4 cups, you fucking idiot. Nice, got him. So, Cicada 3301 is the name given to an enigmatic organization that on 3 occasions has posted a series of puzzles to recruit code breakers from the public. These puzzles showed up on 4chan, posted to, like, different boards and shit. I think it was posted not just, like, X or whatever.
But across the boards. Across the board.
They posted across the boards.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first puzzle started on January 4th, 2012 on 4chan and ran for approximately a month. A second round began, like, 1 year and a day later on January 5th, 2013, I believe. And a third round again, like, early January 2014. What made the Cicada puzzles so fucking great, because it should be said, like, these puzzles did, like, grab attention.
Yeah.
Right. The thing about these puzzles is they are stupid complex and they don't end.
Yep.
It keeps going and it just gets very,
well, it's
very
like
hard.
you solve one puzzle and it's almost like that's the doorway or the key to the next puzzle. And then,
right.
You know, so it's not like you're actually solving anything. You're just moving forward. I mean, you are, but you're solving like the next step.
Yeah. But it also did say they were looking to recruit intelligent individuals.
Yeah.
That was like what the first fucking message said. We are looking to recruit intelligent individuals. There's a message hidden in this picture. It was just like this white text on a black background. And it like grabbed people's fucking attention really hard. Like there's still people like obsessed with solving it. It's taken some weird turns since the last like official puzzle ended in 2014 and has like still persisted even to 2023 and
yeah, I mean it's
like,
9 years later.
Yeah, exactly. That was also very hard to do as well, but they did say that like, oh shit, we found all the people we were looking for, assuming someone or a few people like actually completed the thing. Like from what's presented, I think you're led to believe that some people did complete it and got whatever was at the end of it, and whatever that may be. The only people who have like come forward and said they did it also happen to somehow fucking break the rules a bit, like it's goddamn Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Right.
Yeah. You know, they said like, oh, you can't, you have to do this on your own. You can't have groups. But like, obviously these puzzles were very, very hard.
Obviously
and
people were working together. It was posted on a public forum. So it almost like begs community involvement.
Yes. There's a lot of like hooks in here.
Yeah.
That is meant to fucking grab someone's attention. It's odd. So yeah, the stated intent was to recruit, quote, intelligent individuals by presenting a series of puzzles which were to be solved, each in order to find the next. And the puzzles were like just focused on cryptography, data security, you know, cyber stuff.
Cyber stuff.
Cyber stuff. Cybersecurity is the term. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And so it was, designed for the internet, and it included shit like codes in old ass obscure books, fucking pamphlets. Yeah,
like Agrippa, William Blake.
Well, and that's its own weird thing too. Like it's not it wasn't in the books Agrippa. We'll get to this in a bit, but it was in a William Gibson piece called Agrippa, Book of the Dead, which is like this long, long poem that this William Gibson, who's a sci-fi author, he wrote this. It was like a limited run. Like this is a piece. It's an art piece. It's a very long poem that was distributed in a book where you opened it up and there was a floppy disk in the book, or maybe not a floppy disk, but a type of disk. And the floppy disk, when you put it in a computer, it ran the poem like in lines, each one appearing one after the other, and then it deleted itself as it ran. And you could, like, without extremely good hacking skills or whatever, for lack of a better term, you're never going to be able to get it out of there again. Like, it erased itself, right? Yeah. And the book itself, too, it had it printed on it, but with ink that was designed to disappear when exposed to light. So it was like this whole thing, and it was this long poem about finding his dad's old camera in an attic and looking at the pictures and shit. Like, it's
this is really creeping me out.
What?
Okay, yesterday I watched two things, and both of those things highly featured dads in attics, hiding, like, a father in an attic, hiding memories of fathers in attics, like, just that. Exactly.
I mean, dads do be in attics.
Dads do be in attics. That's like, where old memories are stored.
A common fucking trope and shit.
It's just
That's a sad thing. It's a sad fucking poem, dude. It's a sad thing. I mean, that's where forgotten memories go, is up in the attic. Yeah. See, we're getting hooked by it right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it went up as, like, the clues went up as posters with QR codes, like, all over the world all at once. Like, in one night, and no one saw it happen. Fucking okay. Shit embedded in music and stuff. Like, is the level of work and creativity that went to some of these puzzles, well, actually, that's maybe a bit too strong a word. The level of work that went to these puzzles was fucking insane.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to get so fucking sidetracked throughout this whole thing. This is terrible. I gotta focus. I don't know. It's weird. Even, like, it's also fucking weird. This is tough, and I don't know why. I think I'm...
No, I was thinking about that idea of the poem that just, like, erases itself is so...
It's the spookiest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Well, it's...
in every word.
It's kind of cool. It's about,
it's beautiful.
Impermanence of things, about how, like, it's there and then it's gone and can't be accessed again, but you also know that it exists.
Exactly.
So it's like... it really captures what a memory is like. It captures
what, like, a psychedelic experience is like, too.
Yeah.
Which also lends credence to, is this, like, an MK Ultra sub-project? You know what I mean?
That's a fun...
Kind of seems that way a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting. I don't know. Yeah, so despite much speculation and numerous theories, the true identity of the individuals behind the puzzles has never been proven. The entire event has been called, quote, the most elaborate and mysterious puzzle of the internet age, and is listed as one of the top 5 eeriest unsolved puzzles of the internet by the Washington Post. And no one really still knows why it was done in the first place. Many have speculated that the puzzles are a recruitment tool for, like, NSA, CIA, MI6, maybe a Masonic conspiracy or, like, a cyber mercenary group. Some people think it's a secret society.
It's a mimetic virus.
Could be a mimetic virus. Absolutely could be. No one really knows.
And also, so you want to know what that poem made me think of? The way that it goes on your computer and then erases itself?
Yeah.
It's like being exposed to shit like this. It's like you see it and it gets in your head and then you go on with your life but it's still there.
Right, exactly.
You can't really, like, access it, but now, like, once you engage with the puzzles, however far you take that, now it's in your system, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It provides a winding, never-ending path.
Where did it come from? What does it mean? Like, how to understand it? I don't know.
Yeah. It's almost like a fucking computer virus made real.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very good example of that.
Right.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, so... okay, the thing is, so, like, after... This is beyond the scope of this episode, but, like, after 2014, it seems like the whole Cicada 3301 mythology kind of got grabbed by some of the people that did similar things with QAnon and shit, and it gets wrapped up in the whole QAnon mythos, right?
Yeah.
That's just kind of what happens to it past 2014, but we're not really going to go much into that.
We can't right now.
Yeah. So we just had to have like a production call.
Yep.
So, but between 2012 and 2014, no one knows who did this shit. Despite many speculations, numerous theories. So, is it the Masons? Is it CIA? Is it just some people? Is it just some edgelords?
Right.
But the fucking scale and complexity would suggest that this is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
According to leaked messages allegedly from people who solved all the first set of puzzles and who were ostensibly brought into the fold and part of the mysterious Cicada 3301. Oh, according to messages that were leaked from people who allegedly solved the puzzle, they were actually inducted into this organization.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what?
Well, as the messages stipulated, they weren't allowed to say jack shit, and so far, apparently no one has. Which is kind of hard that's odd. People talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So the first puzzle, January 4th, 2012, posted an image to 4chan's B and X boards. And I think I might have been another one too from a video I saw. But the image was a simple white text on a black background that read, "Hello, we are looking for highly intelligent individuals. To find them, we have devised a test. There is a message hidden in this image. Find it and it will lead you on the road to finding us. We look forward to meeting the few that will make it all the way through." Actually, do you want to read that?
Hello. We are looking for highly intelligent individuals. To find them, we have devised a test. There is a message hidden in this image. Find it, and it will lead you on the road to finding us. We look forward to meeting the few that will make it all the way through. Good luck.
Nice and creepy. Nice and ominous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the phrase, "there's a message hidden in this image," was extremely straightforward. There was an encoded message within the image itself, a practice known as steganography, hiding a message within an image. Not in a symbolic way, not like alchemist recipe books.
Right.
In the file itself.
Mm-hmm.
Using a tool like Outguess, which they used a lot, and as a steganography program, would reveal a hidden message in the initial image. The hidden message read, "Tiberius Claudius Caesar says," long-ass string of letters and numbers.
Okay.
The name Tiberius Claudius Caesar was a hint towards using a book cipher, as it refers to the histories of Tacitus, a Roman historian. But that was a red herring.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what it actually meant was just use a Caesar cipher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is one of the most basic ones.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, word. Yeah, it's a substitution cipher where each letter in the text is shifted a certain number of places down the alphabet. And in this case, Tiberius Claudius Caesar was spelled with a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty simple.
This reminds me of one day I got a very interesting YouTube ad.
Yeah.
That was strange, had weird images, orbs, and codes on it. It was just codes. And this was an ad that I got. And I was like, what is this? So I went to the page, and it was a very esoteric code breaking system. And where all the things sort of led you to esoteric concepts once you uncracked the code. But what it was is each video was almost in ascending order, teaching you how to crack codes that were more and more complicated. So the first video has pretty simple codes, and then the second video has a little bit more complex. So it's as you go through them, your knowledge increases too.
Word.
That reminds me of this, how this first puzzle seems kind of,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's this game, The Witness.
Uh-huh.
Do you know anything about it?
Maybe.
It's a very visually interesting, first-person puzzle game that has you basically following a maze with a line. You draw a line. Variations on that, different rules and shit. But there's no dialogue in the game. It teaches you only through puzzles themselves. You have to solve a certain...
Yep.
And, it goes from just drawing a line to the most insane and complicated and brain-breaking shit you could imagine.
Oh, yeah. I just went back to that YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot of the videos that I saw for the first time have been archived into a playlist, and they also have a playlist titled 0010110.
I hate fucking everything. I'm so...
Listen to our Ashtar episode if you didn't.
We're still here. We're literally still fucking here.
0010110.
Dude, we're never getting out.
We're never getting out.
I know. Fuck me. All right. Let's dance, Jerry. Yeah, so using a Caesar cipher on that string of random letters and numbers sent you to a website, a URL. And when you clicked on it, you were shown a picture of a duck. And it said, whoops, just decoys this way. Looks like you can't guess how to get the message out. People were like, get the message out. Can't guess how to get the message out. Oh, outguess. I got to use outguess again. Right. The steganography program.
Okay,
so it's again
but
teaching you the rules.
this duck has a weird little pink spot on it.
I don't know nothing about the pink spot.
Is that significant at all?
Maybe that's the...
Is there a decoy within this duck? Is this image itself like there's a puzzle within this image or no?
Yeah. There's a puzzle in there.
Right.
Yeah. And it was said, I bet you can't guess how to get the message out. And they're like, oh, we got to use that program outguess that we just used for the last one.
But yes or no?
But yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It said it like claimed to be a decoy, but they're like, I bet there's something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, but like it's that game teaching you
It's the game teaching you not to trust it, too.
Yeah, teaching you the boundaries, what it's going to lie about and shit.
Right.
Yeah. But also teaching you the tools that you're going to use, having it double up the same tool,
Yeah.
This is video games. This is game design.
Yep.
It's actually a good place to tackle this. Is this good game design? So far, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the duck image, once decoded, led users to a message that revealed the existence of a subreddit that, to the uninitiated, wouldn't look like a damn thing. Just fucking nonsense. Strings of letters and numbers and,
Yeah.
But the message that was hidden in the duck was basically, here's a book code, and you'll find the book at this subreddit. Right?
Okay.
A book code is two people agree on a book.
Right.
Yeah, and then you have a code based on like pages and
what page and paragraph.
Yeah. So it's just like a set of numbers with colons between them that you give to someone who ostensibly knows, is supposed to know the book you're using.
Right.
So they said, you'll find the book at this subreddit. Here's the code. You go to the subreddit, it's fucking nonsense. But there were a couple posts of nonsense and then an image that said that was an image of a welcome mat. And then another one appeared that had said the word like problems and shit. Well, again, each image was encoded with a message in steganography. A steganography, stegosaurously encoded fucking bullshit. A stegosaurus encoded message.
Yep.
Oh, yep. The welcome mat image contained the message, Willow.
From here on out, we will cryptographically sign all messages with this key. It is available on the MIT key servers.
MIT.
On the MIT key servers. Key ID 7A35090F, as posted in A2E7J6IC78H0J. Patience is a virtue. Good luck. 3301.
And then a PGP signature, which is PGP stands for pretty good security. It's a key that proves you are who you say you are.
Yeah.
The thing encoded in the problems post was a goddamn magic eye picture of an Arthurian tapestry that when you crossed your peepers was an image of the Holy Grail. And the outguess message encoded within that read,
"The key has always been right in front of your eyes. This isn't the quest for the Holy Grail. Stop making it more difficult than it is. Good luck. 3301.
Right. Then people noticed that the banner image was Mayan numerals.
Right.
It's just because, yeah, of course, in 2012 is Mayan numerals.
Yep.
Yeah. They noticed that the subreddit's title could be converted to the above sequence of Mayan numerals by replacing each letter with their position in the alphabet, starting with A as 10. To decrypt the different text posts, solvers used like that, what they got out of decrypting the subreddit title with the fucking Mayan goddamn news. You see why my brain is breaking?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Once they did that, they used it as a key of a Vignere cipher. I don't know how the fuck. Vignere cipher?
Okay.
Sure. In short, each letter of the ciphertext should be shifted in the alphabet by an amount of places given by the corresponding value in the key. So they got a key, and then you say, like, oh, the first number is this, I gotta shift this, then I shift.
Right.
Yeah. Characters other than letters should be left untouched. The shift key is repeated until the end of the line and reset at the start of each new post. The decrypted text read. So now it's getting harder. The game's getting...
It said... I really gotta read all this.
Yeah. I'll do it if you want.
It's just the words in it are ridiculous.
It's Welsh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do it.
All right. King Arthur was at Caerleon upon Usk. I'm going to pronounce it wrong, and I'm just going to roll with it. King Arthur was at Caerleon upon Usk, and one day he sat in his chamber, and with him were Owain, son of Urien, and Kynon, the son of Clydno, and Kai, the son of Kyner, and Guinevere and her handmaidens at needlework by the window. And if it should be said that there was a porter at King Arthur's palace, there was none. Glued Galvavar was there. That's how I'm going to say it. Glued Galvavar was there, acting as a porter to welcome guests and strangers, and to receive them with honor, and to inform them of the manners and customs of the court, and to direct those who came to the ellipsis. Yeah. It's a collection of fucking Welsh myths and legends called a Mabinogion, or some other name.
Mabinogion.
Yeah. It turns out like the usernames you posted were anagrams of Mabinogion and the and Charlotte Guest, who first penned the collection in the like early Middle Ages. Having retrieved the source text, which is this collection of fucking medieval Welsh folklore and legends, then they used the book code on that. Yeah. That gave them a phone number connected to a line in Texas. Calling this number gave the following message.
Very good. You have done well. There are 3 prime numbers associated with the original final JPEG image. 3301 is one of them. You will have to find the other 2. Multiply all 3 of these numbers together and add a .com to find the next step. Good luck. Goodbye.
Yeah. So kind of, yeah. It turned out the original image had dimensions of 509 by 509 by 503 pixels, both of which are prime numbers. Multiplied them by 3301, you get a different number. That gives you a URL. This breadcrumb then led to a website with the message, "You have done well to come this far. Patience is a virtue. Check back at 5 o'clock at 1700 on Monday, 9 January 2012. So this is all in like a couple days.
Right.
Yeah. As designated time rolled around, 5 days after the shit was posted, the site was updated with a ridiculous revelation. Coordinates that pointed to actual physical locations spread across 4 continents, where a piece of paper with the Cicada logo and a QR code was printed. So at this point, this is only 5 days after the first thing's posted, and it's just like some dude's having a laugh.
Uh-huh.
The puzzles are fairly easy for anyone with basic ass knowledge and shit, right? It's some dude doing a thing. And then they give a bunch of coordinates, and all of a sudden there's just paper with QR codes placed on 4 different continents and like all these fucking coordinates and shit. Like, okay, this is an operation of some sort, right?
Yeah.
This is like the first reveal of the game, like that it gets big.
That it's bigger than just on the internet.
Yeah. Fucking video games, man. It's a wild game design in general is crazy. I had an idea, but yeah, so like also the level of coordination, planning, and sophistication in this whole thing is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Going to these locations and scanning the codes brought you to yet another website where there were more images. Outguess analysis on these led to 2 different types of messages. One read,
"In 29 volumes, knowledge was once contained. How many lines of the code remained when the
Mabinogion.
Okay. That's enough.
Yeah.
How many lines of code remained when the Mabinogion paused? Go that far in from the beginning and find my first name."
And then a big list of numbers, locations, and shit, like the first prime, the first 2 primes and shit.
"You've shared too much to this point. We want the best, not the followers. Thus, the first few there will receive the prize. Good luck, 3301.
The next message read,
A poem of fading death, named for a king, meant to be read only once and vanish. Alas, it could not remain unseen.
same shit with locations in a text and stuff about prime numbers and shit.
You've shared too much to this point. We want the best, not the followers. Thus, the first few there will receive the prize. Good luck, 3301.
Yeah, so that second message was referring to fucking Agrippa, Book of the Dead, that poem by William Gibson that I mentioned earlier. It was contained on disk and made to run only once and then delete itself. And I included the first few stanzas because it's fucking sick. Do you want to read it?
Yeah. I hesitated before untying the bow that bound this book together. A black book. Albums circa Agrippa. Order extra leaves by letter and name. A Kodak album of time-burned black construction paper. The string he tied has been unraveled by years, and the dry weather of trunks, like a lady's shoestring from the First World War. Its metal ferules, eaten by oxygen until they resemble cigarette ash. Inside the cover he inscribed something in soft graphite. Now lost, then his name, W.F. Gibson Jr. and something, 1924. Then he glued his Kodak prints down and wrote under them in chalk-like white pencil, Papa's Sawmill, August 1919.
Yeah, it's just this very somber, very long poem that, like, Gibson was pretty upset that, like, people went in and, like, found it and, like, distributed it.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't supposed to be.
Was not supposed to be like that. Well, in kind of stark contrast, the first message remained unsolved for a while, but then eventually just pointed at the Encyclopedia Britannica, 11th edition, entry on cicadas. So,
okay.
Yeah, not nearly as cool. Here's where shit gets complicated. Applying the book code to Agrippa revealed a site on the dark web. Going there, the initiates were instructed to create a new email address on a public, free web-based service that they had never used before. Paste it in, then they'd be contacted later. Once they were contacted, the puzzles got harder. The people who received an email got an encrypted string of shit and a message like this.
The encrypted message is a number. Break the decryption key, then come back to the same URL and enter the decrypted message to continue. Each person who has come this far has received a unique message encrypted with a unique key. You are not to collaborate. Sharing your message or key will result in not receiving the next step. There is a second chance to get your own RSA message and key. Follow the numbers.tk hint to find it. There are many fake messages out there. Only messages signed with the public key ID 7A35090F are valid. Good luck, 3301.
People that shared the information they got received a message like this.
Hello, you have shared your information online. You are now removed from this altogether. Even if you crack the key you've been given, it doesn't matter because you have demonstrated that you can't be trusted to follow simple instructions anyway. Thank you for your participation to this point. Goodbye, 3301.
Yeah. Then people that made it past, like, whatever that filter were sent a message that said,
This song is your own path, another stop on the road toward enlightenment. Follow it and share not. Let the chorus be your guide to the depths.
And then the poem Chorus by William Blake.
Let the priests of the Raven of Dawn, no longer in deadly black, with hoarse note curse the sons of joy. Nor his accepted brethren, whom tyrant he calls free, lay the bound or build the roof. Nor pale religious lechery call that virginity that wishes but acts not. For everything that lives is holy. Good luck, 3301.
Yeah. So, with that in hand, they were given 2 MIDI files. MIDI is a language that translates musical input to numbers. It's how synths and other electronic instruments talk to one another through, like, a simple 5-pin cable, right? Applying the numbers in the MIDI file, the fucking William Blake poem they eventually reach the end reach the end of the game, which we know apparently through a leaked message which read, it's long, we can trade off.
Do not share this information. Congratulations, your month of testing has come to an end. Out of the thousands who attempted it, you are one of the only few who have succeeded. There's one last step, although there will not be any hidden codes or secret messages or physical treasure hunts. This last step is only honesty. We've always been honest with you, and we shall continue to be honest with you. We expect you to be honest with us in return. You have all wondered who we are, so we shall now tell you. We are an international group. We have no name, we have no symbol, we have no membership rosters, we do not have a public website, and we do not advertise ourselves. We are a group of individuals who have proven ourselves much like you by completing this recruitment contest, and we are drawn together by common beliefs. A careful reading of this text used in the contest would have revealed some of these beliefs: that tyranny and oppression of any kind must end, that censorship is wrong, and that privacy is an inalienable right. We are not a hacker group, nor are we a wares group. We do not engage in illegal activity, nor do our members. If you are engaged in illegal activity, we ask that you cease any and all illegal activities or decline membership at this time. We will not ask questions if you decline. However, if you lie to us, we will find out. You are undoubtedly wondering what it is that we do. We are much like a think tank in that our primary focus is on researching and developing techniques to aid the ideas we advocate. Liberty, privacy, security. You have undoubtedly heard of a few of our past projects, and if you choose to accept membership, we are happy to have you on board to help with future projects. Please reply to this email with the answers to the next few questions to continue. Do you believe that every human being has a right to privacy and anonymity, and is within their rights to use tools which help obtain and maintain privacy, cache, strong encryption, and anonymity software, etc.? Do you believe that information should be free? Do you believe that censorship harms humanity? We look forward to hearing from you, 3301.
So that was apparently the end. After there was a month of nothing from them, and then another email was sent saying they had found who they were looking for and that the puzzles were over for now. What do we think about that whole thing so far?
I think that last message is interesting, like the leaked one.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
Because the thing is, I don't fucking trust any leaks.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I don't trust anyone, like you said, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I trust that there are people that, like, got taken up to the door, or, like, you know, they got in the door to the party and thought, like, this is what it's like in here. But no, there's a secret back room that you haven't been in yet because you haven't proven yourself trustworthy enough yet. So, like, you can come on to these websites and tell us, like, oh, I solved the puzzle, I gained access, it was what it says, like, and it's
all, like, the sites and stuff were, like, deep, dark web sites,
right?
Like, .onion sites.
Yeah.
So no, it wasn't just anybody walking up, but, like, it's weird to me, like, it feels like they're cops trying to sound natural, or people trying to sound like cops trying to sound natural. It sounds like someone trying to sound like a cop trying to sound like not a cop.
Who does?
That message, like, the tone of it, like the illegal activity thing, and then, like, it sounds like someone pretending to be a cop who's pretending to be undercover.
Right.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. So I don't know, and, like, I know we're throwing, like, a lot of, like, complex shit that we don't even understand at you, but I think it's interesting how it progresses very much like a video game, like, or like a game.
Well,
right?
I wonder if, like, the people from the batch the first year is, like, are those the people that help with making the puzzle for the next year?
Perhaps, yeah.
You know?
Like, it could be as simple as that.
Right. Because the last step, right, it says is honesty. Like, that's the last test that you have to pass.
It also could fucking be a lot of things.
It could be a lot of things.
You know? Like, I don't want to say it's a psyop, but it might be a fucking psyop the whole way through. A fucking computer virus for the mind. It's an attention trap, is what it is.
Yeah.
That's why Michael Aquino's all up in there. That's that fucking mind war shit.
Yeah.
You could definitely see old Michael Aquino, like, getting on board with the idea of a mind trap. You know what I mean? A non-lethal mind trap. And of course, oh, fuck me. Of course, that's the whole goddamn thing about the non-lethal weapons research with, like, John Alexander and shit. Like, that's why all these fuckers are connected, because it's the non-lethal weapons department, which they started to realize they could use code. They could use fucking language bundles.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then video games happen. Then fucking video games happen. They're like, oh, fuck, games are a thing. Oh my God, games are probably, like, the most powerful experience a human can undergo, right? In terms of teaching them things and shit. Holy fuck. Yeah. It's weapons testing, dude. Oh my goodness.
It reminds me of when I had a crush on Alex, so I made a code.
Yeah.
And I hid it on Craigslist, on the Quebec page, and I was like, I left a love letter for you on Craigslist, but you have to find it.
Aw.
And then you have to decode it.
Yes.
To know what it says.
That's awesome.
Because I don't want anyone else on there knowing what it says.
That's hilarious.
It's just for you.
But I also don't know if I don't know if this early Cicada 3301 is weapons testing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think they're researching it. And then
what is the effect this has on people?
Yeah. And also private intelligence is a thing with their own nefarious could just be a technology that's out there now.
Yeah.
Who knows how much of any of this I'm going to leave in. This is going to be a fun editing chop.
Oh boy, you're in for it.
I know. Is it weird that I'm having such a hard time with this?
No.
Okay, cool. It's a lot of big ideas.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. So, just over a year after the first puzzle was released, a second Cicada 3301 puzzle hit the board. So I think this actually started on Twitter. It was another image. Same thing. Said we're doing this shit again. Something like that. This time, steganographic analysis revealed this message.
Here's a book code. To find the book, break this riddle. A book whose study is forbidden, once dictated to a beast, to be read once and then destroyed, or you shall have no peace.
Which points to Liber Al Villegas, a.k.a. The Book of the Law, by Aleister Crowley.
Love it.
Fucking okay. Hell yeah, let's
Love
go.
it.
Because also, I forgot that's in the Book of the Law. It says it's supposed to be read once and then destroyed. Which is another, something destroyed that persists.
Yep.
Doesn't actually get destroyed, yeah. Decoding the right passage in the Book of the Law led to a Dropbox with a disk image file. When booted, it gave a list of prime numbers displayed in a nice, stripped down, white on black, cyberpunk style. It started listing them, Prime numbers are also start to become a very big thing, which is an interesting concept in and of itself.
Yeah.
Could you say that the primes are the only numbers that actually exist? Is that only some men and women are stars? So from the Cicada 3301 Wikia, it said, gave a better description than I could write. It said, when booting from the image, a boot sequence appeared, printing a sequence of numbers to the screen. Investigating the sequence revealed that the live image prints out all prime numbers up to 3301. There were temporary 2-second pauses at 1033 and 3301, where it stops at the ladder and moves to the second stage. Further analysis of the live image turned up the routine responsible for the display of prime numbers. It was a Linux shell script, which luckily is human readable. It did not calculate prime numbers like some suggested, but connected the printing command with the sleep command. A whole bunch of shit just hidden in the code of this thing, right? And out of just all these quirks of this thing, they pulled another message. This shit is bananas. There was a recording of a song, which was this guitar piece with weird ambient noise and recorded very poorly, that contained even more clues. A hex dump of the music track revealed this message.
The instar emergence. Parable 1,595,277,641. Like the instar tunneling to the surface. We must shed our own circumferences, find the divinity within, and emerge. Sounds like a cicada.
Yeah.
Emerging from underground.
Yeah.
Tunneling
Also,
to the surface.
Also sounds like finding the light within.
Yeah.
Right? Shedding our own circumferences.
Mm-hmm. To come to the surface.
Brainwashing. Yeah. Become pure.
I guess.
Maybe that's one way to put it.
If that's what I'm getting brainwashed to do, then sure. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Weird.
Yeah, and I posted a link in the script to the from the wiki, people losing their minds about finding shit that's contained within that music track. Did I place that?
Yeah, I'm looking at the link right now. I like it.
It doesn't suck. It does this for a while, then by the end it like... You know how YouTube shows you like where people replayed it from? The line for this, from like the amount of people that replayed it from a certain spot, goes like on a 45-degree angle up and to the right. So like every second forward in the track, someone was more likely to have started it playing from there, like, which is just an odd way for a graph to look.
Yeah.
I guess because it starts doing this. It's fucking strange, man. It's also got that like there's a level of 60s psychedelia in there as well. The hypnotic psychedelic shit. It's at the very least going for an MK Ultra vibe. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Definitely going for that vibe, dog.
I love it.
I know, me too. Like,
it's cool.
How many fucking times do I need to say it? It's a vibe. It's a fucking vibe. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of bullshit in that song. They hex dumped it. They found a whole bunch of numbers. A lot of numbers. Tons of numbers.
So many numbers.
So many fucking numbers and letters, dude. You have no idea. They did more shit to it. They found more numbers just hidden in the fucking thing. They found a JPEG. Cracking the file open, the MP3, they XOR'd it. I don't even know what that means. They followed instructions to get some more shit out of it. They got a fucking... doing some cryptography shit I don't understand. They found a JPEG file hidden in the song. Like, names to ways to reconstruct it or something.
Cool.
It was a rune table consisting of 3 columns named rune, letter, and value, and 29 entries. It was code using runes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now they're just talking in runes. And it was revealed that there was this was a full-blown gematria, a runic gematria, which can be applied to different pieces of text to reveal interesting numbers. The instar emergence, for example, produces 761, which is the name of the file and the file's time signature reversed.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Like, that's a lot of shit in there, dude.
Wow.
It was soon discovered that this image, like the very first one, contained a hidden outguess message. Throughout all of this, the messages from Cicada 3301 were signed with the same PGP key signature, which is how people knew it was
the same person.
Yeah, same person or people. And this is where my head gets totally fucking fried.
Oh, this is where my head's been fried.
I know, me too.
Deep fried.
I was actually fried a while ago.
This is some deep fried nonsense.
Yeah, it's about to get worse. But this is where I just can't go any further with the actual nature of the puzzles themselves. This is just where I just can't even say the words correctly, right? More absurd shit had to be done. I'll put it that way, right? Like, finding all that shit in a fucking song was a filter, a big level up filter.
Oh, yeah.
You know? But there was more, for sure, that led to more Onion Router pages and then more coordinates with more QR codes, like all this shit all over the world, all this fucking shit. And then when they got to the part, again, this time in 2013, where they put their emails in, they were sent an email with statements that they had to answer they were sent an email with 3 philosophy questions, sets of philosophy questions, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
The first type of question, first set, they had a set of answers that they could use. I'm going to have you answer these questions.
Okay.
For us now. And for this first set, you have this group of answers to choose from. True, false, indeterminate, meaningless, self-referential, game loop, strange loop, none of the above.
Oh, okay.
I think, yeah. The first question is, there is no truth.
True.
What you are is more important than what you do.
Meaningless.
Okay. You cannot step in the same river twice.
Game rule.
All right. You're smart. Observation changes the thing being observed.
True.
This sentence is false.
Meaningless. Indeterminate.
Bah.
None of the above.
I'd say self-referential.
Yeah. Self-referential is a good one for that one.
I am the voice inside my head. You undoubtedly just thought, I don't have a voice inside my head. That is the voice the question is referring to.
Strange loop.
Disregarding color blindness, any arbitrary color looks the same to all people.
Indeterminate?
All right, I'll allow it. If A is not true, then it must be. If A is not true, then it must be.
False? It must be game rule.
Good. 1 equals 0.9 recurring.
None of the above.
People who only study material after a test do better than those who do not study at all. Answer the question, Willow.
Oh, strange loop.
All things are true. All things are true.
Meaningless.
We get hundreds of millions of sensations coming into our minds at any moment. Our brain cannot process them all, so it categorizes these signals according to our belief systems. This is why we find evidence to support our beliefs and rarely notice evidence to the contrary.
Game rule.
The second type of questions were more open-ended. Of these, the 3 that are interesting to me are, what does the word it refer to in this sentence? It is dark outside.
Your visual perception of light.
The mathematical operation known as addition.
Boy, that doesn't make sense.
The mathematical operation known as addition is modeled after what? The mathematical operation known as addition is modeled after what?
What?
The mathematical
is modeled after what?
What is addition modeled after?
Duplication? I don't know. I have no idea.
Name similarities between the concept and reality of the news feed on Facebook.
Well, it feeds you news. It feeds you whatever shit it gives you.
And then there was the last question. Oh, there was a lot more technical questions in there.
My
that I just
God.
Yeah. The last question had a set of possible answers. It was 2 people are standing by a lake. One says, that's a lovely reflection in the water. The other says, I see no reflection, but it's a fascinating assortment of fish, plants, and rock within the water. Which one is lying? The one who sees the reflection? The one who sees the fish? Neither? Both?
Neither. Or both. Because, like, the one who says he sees no reflection, he's still seeing the reflection. He's just not paying attention to it. But he can see it.
Take her out, Jerry. So there's that.
There's that. Wow, what a mind fuck that was.
From there, those who made it past that filter were subjected to, so you had to just, like, I think there was, like, that was, so they didn't have to do that by email. I misspoke. They were, like, sent to a page where they had to, like, answer those, type it in with, like, a timer. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fun. Those that passed that filter were subjected to, like, hardcore testing of programming skills that I'm just not even going to attempt to summarize. But it was, like, technical shit. Like, build this, do that, you know. Don't understand it? Not my domain. Those that passed that filter got a congratulations message, much like last time, allegedly, and then they went dark for a year and a day past the initial message. And this shit gets harder and harder to explain and comprehend. The 2014 Cicada 3301 puzzle marked the 3rd year. However, unlike previous years, the puzzle in 2014 remains largely unsolved. This was due to the increased complexity and the introduction of the Liber Primus, a book written in runes, which appeared to be the central piece of the puzzle. It's like a 54-page book of a picture of runic text.
Okay.
Right?
That can all be translated into actual text.
Yeah, only 2 of the pages have been solved.
Mm-hmm.
Or like there's something in there. Yeah. As in the last year, the puzzle began with a tweet. This time the message was a simple string of numbers. The numbers turned out to be a Tor URL. Following the URL led to an image of a cicada, along with a message to find a book. The book was the Liber Primus document. That was just runes. They love their runes, they do. The book, as it appears, contains multiple sections with various themes and is basically the entire 2014 puzzle. Yeah, they only got 2 pages into the 54 pages. And that's kind of...
Oh, it looks like they've done more since
really?
that. Yeah, I'm looking at a translation now, and this is interesting because it reminds me of one of the questions that you asked me, which is to respond to.
Yeah.
What you are is more important than what you do. There's a whole section of Liber Primus that has to do with that.
Well, I think they've like translated more pages, but like the puzzles with
the puzzles themselves have not.
Yeah. But what is like, this is beyond the technical shit. This is where it like gets really into the philosophy and shit with all this nonsense. But basically, like, Jesus Christ, like out of encrypted images, like the solvers constructed JPEGs of pages of this book, Liber Primus. The book's written in fucking runes. Within the runes were more encoded messages, fart sniffing magician shit. Doing gematria on those messages revealed that each line of the message added up to a prime number, then like building magic squares out of those prime numbers and shit. Right?
Yeah.
Shit was cooked up in a fucking laboratory. And my brain shits the bed when it gets to this point. But
I like one of the pages just says, an instruction, do 4 unreasonable things each day.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, that's that, like, Discordian shit, right? Like,
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know. There's a ton of interesting philosophical tidbits in here, which is much more my style, and I picked some of them. Like, one of the messages read, you want to do one? I'll do another one?
Yes. A warning. Believe nothing from this book except what you know to be true. Test the knowledge, find your truth, experience your death. Do not edit or change this book or the message contained within, either the words or their numbers, for all is sacred.
And another said, welcome, pilgrim to the great journey, toward the end of all things. It is not an easy trip, but for those who find their way here, it is a necessary one. Along the way, you will find an end to all struggle and suffering, your innocence, your illusions, your certainty, and your reality. Ultimately, you will discover an end to self. Which, yeah, that's life.
Yeah.
That's life. That's life for you. And then again, there was data, numbers, and shit coded within these, but also, yeah. Here's another one.
It is through this pilgrimage that we shape ourselves and our realities. Journey deep within and you will arrive outside. Like the instar, it is only through going within that we may emerge. Wisdom. You are a being unto yourself. You are a law unto yourself. Each intelligence is holy, for all that lives is holy. An instruction. Command your own self.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm with it.
An instruction.
Yeah.
Do 4 unreasonable things each day.
Yeah, like, I'm down. Like, that's my shit.
Yeah.
That's all my shit. On one Decoded Onion page, there were 4 unencrypted rune pages. One read, the loss of divinity. The circumference practices 3 behaviors which cause the loss of divinity.
What are these 3 behaviors?
Consumption. We consume too much because we believe the following 2 errors within the deception. 1, we do not have enough, for there is not enough. 2, we have what we have now by luck, and we will not be strong enough later to obtain what we need. Most things are not worth consuming. Preservation. We preserve things because we believe we are weak. If we lose them, we will not be strong enough to gain them again. This is the deception. Most things are not worth preserving. Adherence. We follow dogmas so that we can belong and be right, or we follow reason so we can belong and be right. There is nothing to be right about. To belong is death. It is the behaviors of consumption, preservation, and adherence that have lost us our primality, and thus our divinity. Some wisdom. Amass great wealth. Never become attached to what you own. Be prepared to destroy all that you own. An instruction. Program your mind. Program reality.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. And as I've said, like, this Liber Primus business is still unsolved in its totality. There's still to this day a bunch of unsolved pages, and it's 2023. It's 9 years later with people obsessively trying to do this shit. I'm pretty bright, but my brain turned to jelly reading about this and trying to write this other shit show of an episode, and I wrote that into the fucking script.
Yep.
I knew.
It's true.
So this begs the question, who and how Who put this together? How the fuck did they do it? How much fucking time did it take? The people who put this together have to be literally some of the most intelligent people on the planet. Like 20th level D&D wizard intelligence scores. There ain't that many of them around. And as well with like a magical and shit background. Who are really into Crowley.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they sound like the homies.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Sounds like it.
Yeah. I'll get back to that. Like, in-star, give me a break. Every man and woman is a star and shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, what are the other theories on who's behind this? Well, we can take them at their word, that they're, like, anonymous or whatever, a group that ain't a group, that also has an obscene level of coordination. Coordination I can see. I mean, Twitch Plays Pokemon was a thing. You can get a group of people to do a fucking thing. But foresight? Actual secrecy? Nah. That's ridiculous. So what are the options? One, it's an ARG, an alternate reality game, transmedia storytelling meant to do the thing that art does. Shake people out of their comfortable, safe, and brittle worldviews and make them believe in themselves. Okay. But it did kind of dead end in the middle of a puzzle that just got too fucking hard. Unless they're the type of sick fuck artists, like I am, where they just turn it into nonsense and gibberish at the end, making it appear like it got too hard.
Yeah.
But it's actually just the end. Kind of like that Twin Peaks season 3 episode 18 shit. Kind of like, yeah, that's an artist trick.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one too. That could be what's going on. Still though, it doesn't explain what seems to be perhaps an actual recruiting drive for something, if those leaks are true. And this many years on, if it was just art, you'd think someone who is part of the collective or someone who solved the puzzles would have said something. Well, people have said shit, that's for sure. There's been a lot of shit said about it.
Mm-hmm.
Parsing all that is fucking insane. And I feel like anybody who's actually said shit, none of them were part of the original crew of people that did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other options, a hacking collective, like, yeah, that's a bit prosaic. You know, intelligence agency recruiting. It's interesting because it seems like the one that people kind of default to explain it. And it makes sense to a point. The skills required to both craft and solve these puzzles are of the caliber that the best intelligence agencies in the world would want to employ. And this being the same time as like the Edward Snowden NSA revelations and shit, they'd probably be looking to do some recruiting. But the philosophy of the thing seems antithetical to what they're after. Freedom of information and shit, self-reliance, right?
Yeah.
All that shit. But yeah, it could be a double-blind thing, for sure. But why would you really want to recruit someone who is that anti-authoritarian? Or maybe, you know, you find him, then you see what you can blackmail him with. And but like, I don't know. But what fucking state intelligence agency is looking for people with a soft spot for Thelema specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Private intelligence? Maybe there's like 12 super geniuses hanging out on like Peter fucking Thiel's island right now. He has one, I'm sure. It could be an arm of some like other entity on the world stage that has an interest in undermining U.S. information security and shit. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's very obviously magical to me. That sticks out, you know?
Right.
It's like, it's intensely magical. It's an initiation. It wears the thelema on its sleeve. More so than I think like a lot of people who are still obsessed with it understand. Well, because, you know. But we also know there's no small overlap between the tactics and culture of espionage and the tactics and culture of magic.
Oh, God.
Right?
Yeah.
Also, 3301, 33 is the highest degree that of that one type of Freemasonry. I forget if it's Scottish or York Rite. So, like, obviously people think it's a Masonic conspiracy. Like, you know, 33rd degree to the first degree. Right? The initiation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One feller who goes by, like, Weave and is a notorious troll, apparently, according to the article I read, said that it was a group of ex-military diplomats and academics who were dissatisfied with how things were going. He also said to stay away because they're dangerous. Most people now kind of don't give a shit and think it's dumber than it is. I included like a Reddit thread on r/Cicada. Like the comments in here are just kind of interesting. Like, or perhaps we're talking about a one-man army that just created a nice puzzle to solve and built a great mystery around it. A one-man army can't be it. Physical clues appearing all over the world pretty much the same time. Maybe he's super rich and can do that. Probably going to sound like a madman, but I think these guys are trying to decipher messages from ETs. I think this is coming.
Oh my God.
In my humble opinion, it's a joke, a game. Some pretty good IT kids are smart enough to come up with an idea that would, if done right, dumbfound pretty much the whole internet. A bunch of crypto messages, add a dash, and a whole can of mystery, and boom, you got the internet generation's main sensation. It's just a test to see if there's anyone as smart or smarter than they are. Nothing more. just a bunch of computer programmers building encryption software. There was a good NPR broadcast on Cicada once. You should check it out. That was 8 years ago. Yeah. So since 2014, that's the right way to say this. Shit's gotten weird, and there's been a bunch of fucking conspiracy theories that have popped up around it. There's fucking shady ass people that have like claimed ownership of Cicada 3301 and like said they were the guy to do the thing. Yep. Yeah. It starts getting tied into like the QAnon mythos and like and shit. And the thing is, this has MK Ultra vibes. You know what I mean? The game theory hold that it can grab people with. Mm-hmm. But I wonder if like I'm only seeing that in retrospect. But it does seem very sophisticated and stuff. But I don't think gut sense is I think the original puzzle was just some fuckers that met on the internet and made some art. Yeah. Yeah. I think the giant mystery around it afterwards has been spun into something strange. Definitely. Yeah. I think that's what's going, and sort of the same, it's the same time frame that like 2014, where we got some things that happened in 2014. Shit like first shots of the Ukraine war that happened, along with like people getting together to a young upstart made president and shit, and doing wacky things with the internet to try and make fucking, yeah, like there's weird shit around Cicada 3301 that gets into like very global fucking issues and weird shit, and there's fucking MK Ultra vibes throughout now. But was that just because they wanted to give it those vibes at first? Hell yeah. Also, I think there's something to be said for game theory and like using games as a propaganda and psyop tool. That's not like obviously, right? Like games are super fucking powerful. Yeah, dude, I don't know what to make of it. Honestly, well, here's the thing, guys. So, like, while researching this, I realized there's, like, a fuck ton more to this story and, like, where it went and what it's used for. And it's digging up, like, it's making us ask some really wild fucking questions. Like, what's the extent of, like, games used in behavior control operations, tests, whatever, research done by people that are interested in that, whether that's CIA, whether that's private intelligence, whether that's all this shit, right? It's a fucking thing people do. Yeah. And like, I feel like the quality nature of this game made by artists was very appealing to a certain set of people who wanted to do shit to people en masse, like Cambridge Analytica and Facebook and that all bullshit. Steve fucking Bannon, QAnon, all this shit, right? Goddamn Michael Flynn, right? Right, because this predates QAnon too, but it's almost like it was a precursor to QAnon. Right. And you start seeing the same people that like show up around the periphery of Cicada 3301 at the end of it start showing up in QAnon circles and shit too. It's part of like, it was wrapped into that whole fucking internet milieu in its earliest days. People have claimed that they're the ones behind it, but they're not, just like people did with QAnon. It seems like the same sort of game jacking, to use the term that people use. And yeah, honestly, like the research and shit, all the stuff about that, I haven't been able to parse that because it fell in my lap very late in the game. So like, there's a lot more shit here that we'll get to at a certain point. I think is a good way to say it. Because it's also one of those things where like, you don't know what the fuck you can believe from anybody who's writing any goddamn thing. It's hard to even tell what fucking storyline you're reading. It's wacky as fuck, dude. Potentially above my pay grade, but we will see. Yeah. So, I don't know, guys. That's an episode. I'm sorry. That's an episode. That's some shit. It beat me. We need the Queen of Swords on our side to help us with this. Queen of Swords is who's ever doing the fucking observing. Yeah. You know, they're the people behind the one-way mirror. That's me when I'm asking you those fucking questions. Right? Yeah. She's the cold, stone-faced woman, just glaring, observing, watching. Yeah. That's my take on the Queen of Swords, though, is like the person behind the one-way mirror, the observer. Yeah. Because like someone's definitely doing some observing with that. Right. From the get-go. And I think it's like, I don't know. I also like that the Queen of Swords is not facing ahead in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. She's facing, she's looking to the right. Yeah.
It's interesting that she's not looking directly at the viewer like a lot of the court cards are.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
You know?
And in this, she's kind of offset, kind of lazing about. Well, one thing I saw in like a bunch of articles that like there was a quote from Joseph Matheny, who did Ong's Hat, which is like the first ARG. He was quoted as saying, I don't know if there's like reputable or whatever. He was quoted as saying that like the Navy approached him about using like ARGs or like doing shit with ARGs, and he like turned him down and shit or something. I don't have the quote pulled up, but I'd really like to, if that's true, I'd definitely like to talk to his ass about that, because it's like halfway through that episode, I like realized like, oh fuck, games are really powerful.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which I knew, like, you know, intellectually or whatever, but you kind of start to, when you feel like a mystery pulling at you, like when it gets its hooks fucking in you, oh, that's when you know. And that's like game design is the kind of the science of that.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking all sorts of wacky things. I was thinking about like games as a form of non-lethal weaponry and shit.
I love it.
So does Michael Aquino.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy fuck, Jesus Christ. Didn't expect that one to be so weird, and it like literally fell on me like 12 hours ago.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Well, folks.
Yeah, well, if you like what we do, that's going to do it for this week. If you like what we do, please join our Patreon. And if you like what we do, you can join our Patreon, support the show, keep us ad-free, get bonus episodes, get access to our Discord server, all that shit. And we'll love you forever. And we still haven't done the shout-outs. There's just like, there's so many. It'll happen one day. I promise. Yep. You can also leave us a rating and review. You can follow us on social media, all that stuff. Tell your friends. Tell that fucking shady dude smoking a cigarette in the bushes next door. Yell at him. Tell him we're on to him. Take care of yourselves.
Hell yeah.
All right. Peace out.
Peace out. Take care, folks.